Hello everybody, welcome back once again. We are playing Triangle Strategy. I'm just about to start our next chapter here, so let's do it.
With no choice but to acquiesce to Sorslay's demands, House Wolfford loads a merchant's cart with contraband salt and sets off across their own homeland in disguise. Through benighted forests and desolate mountains, they forge a path, staving off the assault of thievish bandits and finally reaching Esfrost. Upon crossing into new territory, they find themselves surrounded by soldiers clad in black. Expecting yet another skirmish, the Wolfford steel themselves for combat. However, the warriors lower their weapons. Through the mists, an unexpected figure appears, Svarog Esfrost, Lord of Twinsgate and keeper of his country's borders.
This is quite the development. My very uncle buying salt outside of the Consortium's purview.
The lion's share of the surprise is mine, I assure you. Who would be aiding me in this illicit endeavor but the noble Wolffords?
Circumstances have caused us to set aside pride for the sake of survival.
Of course, I understand. Oft we must travel the only road available to us.
And what road has brought you here, Uncle? I cannot imagine you have come with Gustadolf's blessing.
What road indeed? My own circumstances have caused me to look outside my humble station, to find the means I require. A reckoning is at hand, and I must needs be ready for it. To that end, I must ask. And pray do not waste my time with mistruths. Do you know who murdered my son?
No, I'm sorry.
I see. Gustadolf would have me believe that an agent of Glenbrook dealt the fatal blow.
That's impossible.
Is it? You speak as if you were there, Frederica.
She was, as was I. We were with Dragan during his final moments.
You were, and yet you do not know who killed him. I will ask once more, and once more only. Who murdered my son?
We were the only representatives from Glenbrook at the mines that day. The arrow that killed your son was loosed by an Esfrosti soldier.
We were attacked and fought back the assault, but they did not flee without a parting gift.
Your story is convenient, but that alone is no reason to discount it. Besides, it does offer an interesting perspective on the matter. Let us say you have the truth of the matter. That would mean Gustadolf has been lying through his teeth. That would come as a shock to many, I'm sure. Regardless, nightfall is come. Camp within our gates tonight.
Do you believe us?
What is there to believe? This meeting never occurred.
Now follow me.
Okay, we've got a vote here. Let's see if there's any side stories. No. Actually, before I do the vote, I'm going to go into the encampment. Let's see if there's anything. No. Alright, promote. Let's take a look. Oh, so Frederica is now high enough level to get Pillars of Fire. Fire type magic damage to enemies across 5 horizontal squares and set the ground ablaze. That's okay. Sheila's got her heal what ails you, heal an ally's status ailments. Man, Anna's really fallen behind. The first time I played, Anna was always way higher level than pretty much everybody else because I used her so much, and you know, she gets 2 actions per turn. Increases the range of the first normal attack used after battle begins by 2. That seems lame. Slumber shot. Yep, I think Rudolph is going to get promoted next. I don't like that they give him this hood thing. I wish they wouldn't have done that, but oh well. Alright. And then I think there was a weapon upgrade item as well that we just got. Yeah, so it looks like something for the mages. Yeah, so Gila, Quahog, and Narv. I think this is haste, either duration or strength, which is kind of nice. I barely ever use Narv, so I probably won't bother with him. And this is, of course, damage of either wind or lightning. Let's see, what does Quahog get here? He gets a speed upgrade. I think I gotta go with Gila, just because I actually use her all the time. Let me just save here real quick. I want to take a look at Quahog's upgrades before I choose for sure. Definitely won't upgrade Narv yet, just because I rarely use him. Alright, let's do this. Increases the effect duration of time compression by 1 turn. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Or increase the effect of time compression. Yeah, this is actually a lot like Gila's, I think. And then here's his speed +2, which is pretty crazy. Let me just see what his speed is already at. Quahog ends up just being insanely fast. Speed, yeah, he's already at 26, so he'd be at 28 if I went with that weapon upgrade. I think I am going to go with Gila, though. I'll probably do Quahog after that. Alright, let's see, Gila. Right, increases the effect duration of haste by 1 turn or increases the effect of haste. Yeah, so make it like it's either like a stronger haste or have it last longer. I think I'm gonna go with the lasting longer. Let's do the jump. Magic. Oops, I shouldn't have done that actually. Deal greater damage and restore more HP. I think I'm gonna reload this and not do magic. I'm gonna go with the weapon one. I forgot that the weapon potency increase also affects your heals, so I feel like that makes more sense. All right, let's do this one more time here. Jump, which is actually pretty well, kind of lame. All right, haste duration, and then weapon potency. All right, we are done. Let's get out of here and do this boat.
So, that's how it went, eh? Glad you came back to us with your head on your shoulders. Given the lies he's been fed, it couldn't have been easy for Svarog to keep his composure.
Still, it will be no easy task to assuage his doubts. I fear it may not be long until he gives into his desire for revenge, justified or not.
Perhaps. But I very much had the sense that his opinion of Gustadolf was less than favorable. So long as we share the same enemy, there's a chance to build faith between us.
I had the same intuition. Would that we could lend weight to our claims.
There must be something that can sway him.
Perhaps a secret will suffice. We have one of great value to the right person.
Huh? What are you on about? No. You can't mean...
None would rather see the Archduke laid low more than I. If Svarog knew I still lived, we might find common cause. With the Prince of Glenbrook behind him, his opposition would be justified.
The enemy of our enemy, eh? Wish we had more than a feeling to go on.
Once this secret is revealed, there will be no turning back.
It is a gamble, yes. However, this may be our best and only option to gain support from within Esfrost.
There is much to consider. I would hear everyone's thoughts on the matter. Do we keep Roland's secret our secret? Or do we trade it for a potential ally?
Alright, Lord Svarog's trust or Roland's safety. Must be careful not to reveal anything when deliberating with the others. Perhaps I can gain some insight from the soldiers outside. Yeah, perhaps. Let's do this. Alright, so we've got Enchanting Spice times 3. Fiber times 3. There's a cat. Looks like that's it for inside here. Alright, let's go outside. Hang on a second. Go back in here once. Marvels of Norzelia, Volume 7. Let's take a look at this. Perhaps this is a bold claim, but I am nearly certain that everyone would want to know about Norzelia could be learned in the north. Yes, in the Esfrosti archives. Generations of archdukes pursued knowledge and technology in order to transform the remote duchy into a mighty force to be reckoned with. They gathered texts from every corner of the realm, and these archives are the result. The large collection of books and scrolls grows ever larger by the day, rendering organization nigh impossible. Though that means wisdom believed lost to the ages may very well be slumbering among the stacks. Containing the very history of Norzelia itself, the archives are a treasure house of knowledge and potential. The current Archduke Gustadolf has opened the archives to a veritable flood of scholars, allowing all manner of research to be conducted. Who knows what surprising discoveries tomorrow might bring because of this. Yeah. Alright, let's go outside. Here we've got a conviction choice with Svarog's guard. It says Lord Svarog was concerned for Lady Frederica when the Archduke invaded Glenbrook. To see her unharmed has put him and us soldiers at ease. Might I inquire as to what brought Lady Frederica and her new house all the way to Twinsgate? Alright, let's see here. So the top option is liberty, middle is morality, and bottom is utility. Again, I'm done with morality and utility, so I'm going to go with the top option here. Why is Lord Svarog engaged in such dealings? I wish I could tell you, sir, but most of us soldiers have no idea. Lord Svarog deals with all his cargo directly. He won't let the rest of us near it. I see, so Lord Svarog is very thorough about keeping his secret just that. in which case I am in no position to tell you about it myself. I appreciate your honesty, but of course. So I should say, in order to get the golden route, you have to reveal Roland's identity. So that is the option that we will be going with here. Let's see what this guy has to say. Most of the soldiers stationed here at Twinsgate have worked with Lord Svarog for years. As such, we trust his judgment. No harm will befall you as long as you have his permission to be here, no matter the reason. Let's see. Nothing. Lord Svarog told us, excuse me, Lord Svarog told us not to announce your visit to the Archduke. Such an edict means he doesn't want others finding out what's happening here. It's suspicious to say the least. Yeah. What the heck? Can you not get down here? Yeah, it looks like you can't get down. I guess there's nothing down there anyway, but it's just weird that the character automatically jumps across there constantly. That masked man with you bears a striking resemblance to the famed Sir Maxwell. Though he may be a rival to the Duchy, I respect him deeply as a fellow warrior. But he gives off a much younger air than I thought he would. Alright, so this is the foot soldier. The top option is utility, middle is liberty, and bottom is morality. I'm going to go with a liberty once again here. Enviable, isn't it? Sir Maxwell takes greater care of his appearance than one might think. If he cares so much for his appearance, why does he hide it behind a mask? That is because he wishes not to expose his enemies to any unsightly visage he might show upon defeat. I see, so it is a sign of respect to any who would best him in battle. The Downspear is both a gentleman and a soldier. I had always admired Sir Maxwell, but you have given me newfound respect for him. For that, I thank you. Okay. Let's see here. What am I missing here? Oh. Okay, so everything is done in the back here. Talk to that guy. Oh, got an HP recovery pellet ×2 there. Let's talk to this guy. Lord Svarog was overcome with grief when he heard of his son's murder. The Archduke said it was all a plot by Glenbrook to seize control of the Grand Norzelian mines. I would not be surprised if Lord Svarog begrudged the royal family because of it. Gustadolf claimed that it was King Regna who gave the order to have Lord Dragon slain, but what we saw at the mines that day proves otherwise. How could we get Lord Svarog to believe us? Whatever our path, we must tread carefully. The matter of his son's death is a sensitive one, and any mistake could cost us our lives. Alright, there's the information about Dragon, the beloved son. Archduke Gustadolf had Lord Svarog sent all the way out here to Twinsgate. Soldiers like us were likewise forced to the borders alongside him because of that bad blood. It seems the duchy is not as unified as I expected. Alright, there's the disunity in the duchy. Oh, there is something right here. Quality timber. Let's see. Okay, talk to all those guards. I think that's actually it for the items here too. Yeah, because there's only a ranged HP recovery pellet and a quality timber outside. Yeah, we already got that. Okay, yeah, I think we're good here. I think it's just time to go back inside. You'll be returning, yes. Let's see. Okay, save. Alright. So I need to convince Frederica, Huet, Eridor, and Anna. Let's start with Frederica.
Serenoa.
I think it would be possible to convince my uncle without revealing Prince Roland's identity. So this one should listen to reason. Red. What is red? Red is liberty. So, apparently, my liberty score is high enough to, I guess, yeah, make it more likely that we're going to be able to convince Frederica here. I believe we should reveal Roland's identity. Is there a reason his identity must be revealed? Lord Svarog is suspicious of us. We will have to be forthright with him if we are to gain his trust, or restoring House Wolford takes precedence over the prince's secret. Please remember why Roland donned the mask in the first place. I think this first option seems better to do that.
I see.
My uncle is not a man who would go back on his word. If we tell him the truth, perhaps he will understand. However, if my brother, if Gustadolf were to find out, Prince Roland's life will be in danger. Perhaps it would be best to exercise caution for now.
I need a moment to think.
I'm sorry, but my heart still wavers on this matter. Serenoa, what is your opinion of my uncle? Alright, so if he's your uncle, then he is mine as well. I'm sure we can come to an understanding, or he is a man bold enough to vie for power against Gustadolf. I do not believe he is in the habit of casually revealing secrets. Yeah, I think I like that one better.
Surely.
As you can rely on my uncle to be discreet, he is also not one to spout lies. I know without a doubt that he holds great animosity towards the Archduke. If we can show that our objectives are aligned, he may very well choose to fight alongside us. Pray she understands where I stand. Alright, Frederica has been moved by our words. That is good. Let me just see here. Where is Roland? Roland. Here's Roland.
Say.
Yeah, this one will listen to reason. Benedict.
Yes?
This one should listen to reason. Where's Gila?
Me?
Yeah, interesting. My theory right now really is just as long as your convictions are high enough, everybody will be able to be swayed whatever way you want. Alright, so Huet is next. The risk of Prince Roland's secret being revealed grows greater with every telling of it. We have only just succeeded in feigning his death. 'Twould be foolish of us to reveal the truth of it too soon, or so soon. She'll listen to reason. Do you truly think it worth the risk to reveal that Prince Roland lives? We must take a risk to prove our determination if we are to earn Lord Svarog's trust, or we want justice for Lord Dragan, as does Lord Svarog. Showing him that Roland lives may convince him that we had no part to play in his son's murder. That actually doesn't make any sense. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the top option here. This second one just doesn't seem to make sense to me. How would showing him that Roland lives convince him that we had no part to play in his son's murder? That doesn't make sense. Alright. Make no mistake, I understand what Lord Svarog's trust is worth, but putting Prince Roland's very life in danger is no mere risk, said Serenoa. Might I speak with you further to clarify my own thoughts on the matter? How do you see Lord Svarog? He's a man who wishes to overthrow Gustadolf, and those with common enemies make potential allies. He's Frederica's uncle, as such I should like to trust him, or he is someone who holds boundless ambition that requires a cause around which to rally, a cause I believe we can provide. I don't know, I think the first one is better.
Quite true.
Perhaps, but this potential ally has been driven out to Twinsgate by his own nephew and will not hesitate to remind us of the fact. Even so, his involvement in the illegal salt trade is proof enough that his ambition has not diminished. Should revealing Prince Roland's identity persuade him to join us, we may well gain an ally in our fight against the Archduke. Thank you, this talk has brought me clarity at last. Right, she's been moved. Eridor is next.
Here's what I think.
I know Svarog's not in Gustadolf's corner, but he's in his frosty all the same. I can't see him as anything else. You really think we can trust him? Alright, he'll listen to reason. Tell me, lad, why you think we should go revealing that our dear Prince Roland lives? Alright, doing so might earn Lord Svarog's trust and win him to our cause. Is the enemy of our enemy not our friend? Or we have no other choice if we wish to convince Lord Svarog that we had naught to do with his son's death. Yeah, I just don't understand that. I don't know why that would convince him that we had nothing to do with his death. I'm going to go with the top option here. I've heard that one plenty. He does want the same as us, that much is true. It's risky, but the gains could be worth it. My head aches. I wish there were a clear answer here. I reckon a lord needs a keen eye for a man's character, so how do you see Lord Svarog, lad? Frederica seemed to think him trustworthy when she lived in Esfrost, so I believe he can keep a secret, or he's an ambitious man with no love for the Archduke and a father consumed by grief, desperate to avenge his son. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one.
You're onto something.
Lad, if I didn't know better, I'd swear you could read minds. I sized him up exactly the same. The hatred he feels toward his boy's murderer threatens to eat him alive. If we prove it to him it was Gustadolf, well, I reckon he'd raise a rebellion tomorrow, which makes it worth a wager if you ask me. Yeah, that's something. That sounds like he's convinced. Against all odds, I think I might finally see a way out of this. Alright, he's been moved. Anna is last. Revealing Prince Roland's identity may win Lord Svarog's cooperation, but at what cost? I've yet to arrive at a decision. What are your thoughts? Alright, we should reveal... So you would reveal Prince Roland's identity. We need Lord Svarog on our side if we are to restore Wolfort. I believe securing his cooperation would be worth a risk, or we have nothing else with which to bargain. Revealing his identity may well be our best move. Lord Svarog remains suspicious of the Archduke. He might aid us if we can prove that we did not murder his son. Yeah, I think I like that third option best. And you believe earning his trust is worth revealing our closely held secret. Lord Svarog obsesses over the truth behind Lord Dragan's death. Perhaps he seeks revenge, in which case our aims would be aligned, making this a risk worth taking. I see that we may need to be bold if we wish to better our situation. Thank you for your counsel. So she's deep in thought. All right, let's do this.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we reveal that it is Roland behind the mask, or do we keep his identity a secret? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I wholeheartedly agree.
All right, that seems obvious, right? Frederica is voting with us.
I agree.
All right, yep, Anna's voting with us as well.
I have faith in you.
Okay, yep, that looks like a vote from Hewitt as well.
You won me over.
All right, yeah, it looks like that's a unanimous vote.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
All right, nailed it.
The way forward is decided. The only way to win Svarog's trust is to reveal Roland's identity and begin negotiations. It is decided. Svarog shall know the truth of Roland's identity. Benedict, I would ask that you arrange an audience as quickly as possible.
Of course, my lord.
Okay, that is going to be it for this one. As always, hope the guide was helpful, and thanks for watching.